Okay, everyone.
How many of you have ever thought about writing a book?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so about half of this will be practical. I'm going to tell you basically the 4 reasons why I think books are a really good idea for business owners, which are probably things you've not heard before. And I'm also going to tell you how to actually write a book. And you're going to get started on your outline. So by the end of this 20 minutes, you're going to have a really strong start on the book that I think you should write. Yep. Okay, so there's some reasons to write a book. Ben was talking about platform and brand building. That's something I've been focused on for a while. The first book that I wrote failed miserably. I was really depressed because I thought, I was a genius and I was going to be a writer. And then I spent 10 years on government stipend studying to get my PhD in literature. And since then, as a student, when I was a starving artist and nobody was buying my books, I figured out online business. And so I've been able to merge the two. More recently, I used to work with clients with book design and book marketing and stuff. Some of my clients have been featured in Oprah Magazine or hit the New York Times bestseller list. Projects that I've written have been on the USA Today or the Wall Street Journal bestseller list, which is kind of nice because I can put that in my bio. Doesn't necessarily mean they earn money. So I have nonfiction books that are part of my funnel and now lead to online courses about publishing and book marketing. That's at about, I think I've sold about 200,000 in teachable course sales in the last couple of years, which is kind of nice. I'm looking forward to getting up to like $250,000 because that sounds really awesome. But also now I'm more focused on passive income and writing books that make money, which is different. I've always focused on writing books. I've been always really details focused, so I cram my books full of like, this is the practical stuff, this is what you need to do. I've realized that doesn't work because if people don't buy in to what you're selling, they're not going to read the book, they're not going to get excited, they're not going to take action. And if they don't take action, they're not going to see the value of your book, they're not going to recommend it, or review it. So those are all things we're going to talk about today. These are kind of the 4 main things that I think are really important with brand building. Books are a really good idea. Stories is your personal transformation story. A lot of authors, they think, I'm not famous, nobody wants to hear my story, I'm just going to cram it full of information. But people they won't listen to your information unless they believe what you're talking about. So you kind of have to do some trust building before, and they also won't be impressed by your biography because they don't care about you. You have to get them to care with vulnerable shares and kind of understanding who they are, what they want. I'm actually going to grab my water.
Thank you.
I might talk a little bit about giveaways. I've been using book giveaways because they're awesome. And you can, for example, if you don't have a platform, I can say, I'm writing a book about creativity, so I can buy the 10 best-selling creativity books on Amazon and give them away as a King Sumo giveaway as a package, advertise to people who like that topic. And then people are like, oh, here's 10 awesome books by famous writers. And then my book is also in there. And they sign up to my email list, they follow me on social media to try to win those 10 books. So I'm using other people's content to build a platform, which is a pretty nice way to start. Not loud enough? Okay. And also your favorite things is kind of just a way of getting people to like you. If you share, I like cats and I need coffee in the morning, if you share basic banal things about yourself, that's what people actually respond to. Like Benno said, you already have a brand. It's important to think about how you're communicating, and I think the reason you should write a book is because you can put your brand story into a format that people will actually read it. You probably have an about page on your website that nobody's really reading, especially if no one's coming to your website because you don't have traffic. Even if you have a really good brand and nobody's seeing it, it's not doing anybody any good. So the value of having a book is you can tell your brand story and provide value and put it on Amazon, and put it like everywhere. It could be a free download, or it can be on Amazon. I use perma-free for some stuff, so I have a perma-free book that has been #1 in like business and marketing for 5 years because there aren't that many people giving away their books for free on Amazon. which is why it's so easy to rent. So I mean, it's a free book, so it's not really a #1 best-selling book, but it's a lot of free visibility. It probably gets 20 or 30 downloads a day. Those are all people who can buy my real book or get into my funnels. So when I ask you to start thinking about the book that you're going to write, you want to think about the value that you're going to provide. You want to solve one specific problem for other people, but you also want to introduce your brand story the way you want to be seen. You have to think about who you want to be known for. So even if you are writing a specific book for one topic, you have to build your personal biography that matches that topic so that people trust what you're talking about. So you kind of need to shift the way that you tell your story to make it relevant for the topic that you're communicating. And also, for example, I'm kind of known as a book cover designer guy still, and that's not really what I do anymore. It's not really what I like to do anymore. It's just most of my content is book design. I actually want to write a book about a creative brain on drugs. I want to host marijuana-based writing retreats in Oregon. That's what I'd like to be known for. I'd like to be known as that guy, but I haven't written that book yet. So I have to first write a couple books about creativity and then write books about drugs and creativity so that I can write my marijuana retreats. It's kind of like a long-term plan. Theory and practice, these are kind of things that are important with your brand. They're all things that you can do with a book. And I'm going to skip past this because I don't think it's as important, but you can do all of these branding things in your book. And like I said earlier, your book is something that people are actually going to read. If they sign up for a book or if they buy a book, doesn't necessarily mean they're fans yet. They may not have actually read your book yet. So when they sign up for a free book you're giving away, you can't treat them like they've read the book. You kind of have to check in, and some of your content can be like, like I said on page 36, this quote is super important. Kind of check in and make sure they're actually consuming the content. These are the 4 main reasons I think books are awesome. The first one is that in SEO, it's really valuable to have a book on Amazon or a book on iTunes. People may not be, they may be searching for books on bookstores, or they may be using Google, but your book is probably going to rank pretty well. Usually on the first page of Google, there's a couple of Amazon results. So if you have the book on the topic, you're the author who shows up, there's actually simple ways you can do that. If you know backlinking, you can backlink your keyword anchors directly to your Amazon link so that your Amazon book has a higher chance of ranking on Google. That's a nifty hack. It's easier to show up that way than to try to get people to your blog. And also, you have something valuable to offer. People will listen to you and they'll like you as long as you're telling personal, vulnerable share stories that are relevant to the content. More on that later. Number 2, you may know Jeff Walker's product launch formula. It's kind of like a 3 videos. My what's it called? Evergreen funnel is like 3 videos and then a webinar. And also Russell Brunson's Epiphany Bridge that he talks about in Expert Secrets. They're really good ways of selling things. And the idea is you provide a lot of value, overcome your potential customers' main objections, like why they would be hesitant or why they would not buy your thing. You kind of give away your 3 secrets, which are actually just overcoming their psychological objections. And also the Epiphany Bridge is basically like, I was a starving grad student, I had to sell all my books, I was a failed writer, but then I figured it all out and I discovered all this wonderful stuff. That's the Epiphany Bridge. You can put all of that stuff, the whole evergreen funnel, everything you would put in your email funnels, you can put it in your book. And the value is maybe 20% of people will actually get your final offer. Like, I had probably like a 25% open rate, but by the time they get to my final course offer at the end of my email funnel, I probably only got 10 or 15% of people actually even seeing my offer. So the value is, if they're downloading the book and reading the book, you can have your offer multiple times throughout the book. In your book, you probably want several content upgrades, just like you would have on a blog. For every chapter, you can have a specific content upgrade to get them to opt in. It depends on if you're getting them to sign up on your email list for a free book, or if they're downloading a book or buying a book on Amazon. You have to kind of treat them differently, but you can have 2 different versions. You can give away a book and also sell it on Amazon. Um, and also, let's see, I'll skip to number 3. Free leads, because if you have a book on Amazon, Amazon has an advertising system which works pretty well. So you can be paying for Amazon to promote your book on Amazon in search results. So you can always show up on the top of all the search results for everything if you want to, if you pay for it. Romance now is up to like $9 a click or something because it's really profitable. But for nonfiction, a lot of nonfiction authors, they don't know book marketing. They're probably not even self-published. If you're not a self-publishing author, you can't even access the Amazon ads dashboard. So you have a big advantage if you're an indie author and you have control over your own publishing. But what you can do is just pay to show your book to everybody who searches for things. And if it's a paid book, if you're selling it for $4.99 and you're getting clicks at like $1 a click, you can break even pretty easily, which means people are paying you to get the book, and then they're joining your email list, and it's free, basically. It's free advertising, free lead generation, which is awesome. So that's why I recommend it. You can even have an offer in the beginning of your book, because on Amazon you can click the look inside, and you can actually click to look inside, and those links that appear are clickable. So people can, if you have an offer in the front of your book, people can click your link and sign up to your list, even if they don't buy the book, which is kind of cool. So you could even at the bottom of your Amazon description say, make sure you get the offer, or like click the look inside to get the free offer, because you know, if 10% of the people who see your Amazon page are buying the book, you're losing a lot of leads. But if you make sure that everybody who sees and reads your Amazon book description sees your offer and signs up to your list, that's an easy extra way to win some more signups. And finally, I've kind of talked about this in giveaways, but having a book is a better way for you to network with other peers in your industry. If you're starting off and you don't have a platform or a network, most authors want to sell more books, but they don't know how. So if you are the person who organizes a joint author giveaway and say, hey, I love your book so much, I'd love to give away a copy to my list, you don't have to ask permission to buy and give away a copy of somebody else's book. It's kind of a nice introduction. I might like make the giveaway. I might like ask if I can buy a signed copy just because that's kind of nice. But otherwise I would just make the giveaway page and I would just tag them on Twitter and say, you know, if I featured 10 different authors, I would probably send out one tweet every day for 10 days tagging a different author and say something like, I enjoyed this book so much, I'm giving it away. These are the 10 best books. I would also make this a blog post. This would be like the 10 best books on creativity for authors. And that would be a really good piece of Google content. And those 10 authors would be like, hey, this guy just featured me as one of the 10 best books. They would probably share it with their audience. They're sending more people to my platform. If I'm also retargeting the traffic that comes to my blog post or my website, that's a really fast way to grow a big platform around a specific topic. That's even something you can build into your evergreen funnels. I'll usually I might have, if you find the 10 books, you could give away those same 10 books every month. You could just say sign up to my email list, or you could just keep running the same giveaways so that everybody who visits your blog, you could retarget the advertisements to evergreen giveaway. Every month you can give away 10 ebooks. It costs like $25 or something for list building. That's a really good offer, because if you're advertising like a free book, it's not quite as good as if you're advertising win this free starting library for your topic, and you have all these other famous best-selling authors that they already know and recognize and trust, so your brand becomes associated with those famous authors. Anyway, it's an easy hack that you can use with books and giveaways. So, get out your pen, your paper. The rest of this is going to be really practical. And I recommend starting with a how-to book. There's basically two kinds of books. The first one that everybody thinks they should write is the brand story. But the problem with that is you can't really just talk about yourself, because nobody cares about you, and they don't know why they should listen to you. You have to get them to listen to you first by focusing on the benefits and the value that you can provide. You have to focus on them and solving their problem. And you can do that easier with a how-to book. So a how-to book is very simple, solving one specific problem. So rather than some random bullshit like story about everything with no theme. If you can focus on one specific thing you can help your audience with, the more specific, the better. Even if you're just building something for lead gen, even if this is like a 25-page book, I recommend, if you're publishing on Amazon, I recommend between like 15,000 and 25,000 words, which really isn't that much. You can probably write 2,000 words a day easily, which means you can write a book in a month if you want to. It's like 10 long blog posts, basically. You can do this. You can even, organize it with an outline and write those 10 blog posts, one long blog post a day, because you're probably more familiar with blogging than you are with writing books, and then you'll have a book put together. Start with something simple, basically how to X. And the formula that you can use, it's just like copywriting, but you can say like how to X without Y, and talk about the pain point of the thing. Write down a list of the steps that it would take. It can be 7 steps if you need to, like, I would try to do like less than 10 steps, because if you say like the 25-step process, people are going to be overwhelmed. If it's a 3-step process or a 7-step process, you don't have to put that in the subtitle, but you want to kind of be clear on, if you are going to teach this thing, what do they have to learn? How would you organize that educational journey? What would you teach them first? What would they have to learn? Start with that, but that's the practical stuff. That's the content. That's the meat of the book, but it's not what you want to put first. So the second point is why them, why you? Who is your audience? Why did they need this? Why have they had troubles with this before? You can ask, you see people asking like, what are your greatest challenges about this specific topic? You'll get them to give you their pain points or their problems with this specific thing. You can use all that language in your introduction. This is why you need the book. This is what the book is going to help you to do. Start by focusing on their problem and how you're going to solve their problem. Talk a lot about them. Use you instead of I and me. But then after you've talked about them and their problem, then shift to your story. Once you've got their attention, you still have to introduce yourself in a way that resonates with them, because they don't care yet. Even if they want to solve their problem, even if they want to learn this stuff that you're promising them, they don't care about you. They're not listening to you. So you have to kind of drop a few credibility boosters, which is like, like I said earlier, your epiphany bridge, your emotionally vulnerable share to get them to care about you as a person, how you overcame this problem, and then like some of your results, and maybe some of your clients' testimonials or results. Focus on like the end goal and make sure that they really get excited about the end goal. Because if they're not excited about the results that they can achieve, they're not going to read the book. They're not going to keep reading the book. So results, your story, build sympathy, get buy-in before you deliver. If you've ever read Think and Grow Rich, he does this really, really well in the preface and the introduction. I have a blog post breaking that whole thing down, but basically he says, there is a secret somewhere in this book that's going to change your life. It's going to be different for you. I don't know where you're going to find it. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but if you look really carefully and you keep reading really carefully, you'll discover somewhere on the page of this book something that will change your life. And so you're on the lookout. You're primed to find the value in the book. You're looking for the value. And even if he doesn't really provide it, and he says this secret has changed all of these people's lives. All of these people have made millions of dollars with this secret. And it's bullshit, because he never met any of those people. He never interviewed any of those people. It's all based on a fraud. But it's still a good book. And it really, the preface, the introduction is done so well, because he's name-dropping all these things. He's telling all these stories. He doesn't tell you actually what you're going to get out of the book. He just promises you that it's going to be worth your time. And he keeps going over that over and over and over again. So by the time you actually get to the content, you're sold, which is neat. Basic outline, something that works really well for nonfiction books, is why, what, how, now. This is something you can use for the introductions, also something you can use for the chapters. The why is start with story. Instead of starting with how to, whatever, start with a scene-based action story. Like this one time I did this, or I was interviewing this guy. Start with action, walking through the scene, meeting somebody, describing the thing, because people can't remember information, they can't picture information. So if you're just teaching information, it won't stick in their brains. Pictures stick in people's brains. So you have to tell pictures that will stick in their brain and create an open loop so that they keep reading the rest of the chapter and they care about, the actionable stuff. The what is the actual stuff. The how is how specifically they can do the stuff. And the now is an action point or a summary, or like, now do these things. That's a really simple formula you can use for every chapter. Also, you should have at least one personal anecdote in every chapter and 3 famous quotes in every chapter. That's really nice using famous quotes. It makes it look like you've done your research. It's not just about you. And also you can create like blog posts of the best quotes about this topic. And you can turn those into image quotes that you can share on Pinterest or social media. So like when you're promoting your book, if you have 10 chapters, now you have 30 awesome graphic quotes where you can put like your book cover and the quote and the famous person, which is just good content to share for book promotion. This is a giveaway that I'm not going to talk about. That's kind of how I launch my books. Platform basics. I'm kind of out of time. Thank you very much. If you want to write down your book idea and your subtitle, it's really important to do keyword research so that you know what your audience is actually looking for, and you write those keywords into your title and your subtitle so your book shows up in the searches. There are tools to do that, but if you want feedback on your book idea, you can ask me anytime, and I will tell you if it sucks or if it's okay, or I'll help you to make it better. A personal story about your life that relates to the thing. I actually avoided this for a long time. I focus on details. I'm really details driven, so I never shared anything about myself. So people really love my content, but they don't know me. They don't care about me. So I made a list of I have a file that's like good stories, and I have like 100 good stories, and I rewrote all my email funnels, and they're crazy long emails with big stories and multiple shares. I talk about like my teeth are fake and I'm insecure about that. I talk about someone stole my grandma's shoes. I talk about like being poisoned, and I don't know, just like random stuff, and then relating it to the theme that you actually want to communicate. It's just a way to kind of get them to care about you.
Chapter, make sure you have a personal anecdote.
It doesn't have to be yours, but start with story, because an anecdote is a way to present a scene, and storytelling is how people remember facts.
Do you have a writing routine or something? Who writes these 2,000 words every day?
I'm not very good at getting the writing done. For me, I have to do it first. I just have to get up and not do anything else and be like, I'm going to write my words today. What works really well for me, I have a little Bluetooth keyboard and an iPhone, and the IA Writer app, which can be like black screen, and there's like one line of text that's highlighted. So when you hit return, it fades it out. So you're only seeing like this much, and you can't get distracted by all the other bullshit. And for me, that really helps me, because then it's more stream of consciousness. And if you outline well, you probably already know your shit for nonfiction. So if you outline well, you're like, I'm going to write 500 words about this specific thing, you can probably do it in 20 minutes. I mean, once you start.
Derek, how do you wrap your books up? Like, is there the last chapter, is that a call to action, or how do you do?
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I would have several calls to action. I try to give them my email list. I don't usually have like a conclusion. You should have like a conclusion and like a next steps. And I'll usually say like, to get them in your sales funnel, you want them to be like, I've taught you these things. That's really important. But to really succeed, you absolutely have to learn this other thing that I didn't talk about, and you have to sign up to my list to get the other thing. So you want to make sure that they know they haven't got everything you can provide.
Okay.
I don't always do that. I need to rewrite my books. One of the things that I've seen done is, that I forgot to mention, is you can have an offer in your book. So like if you have your real book on Amazon, you can have an opt-in offer to get them to sign up for your list, which will be like a PDF bonus. In the PDF bonus, in the footer or the footnote, you can say, don't forget you have 3 days to claim your 50% off coupon to get into my course. That can be like a direct link to your offer inside the book that they're reading, rather than just pitching it by email, because you'll get, like, everybody will see your offer. I haven't tried that yet, but I think that's really smart.
Okay, cool.
Gary, you mentioned how hard it is to rank when you're first starting out. So what are some of your favorite resources, guides, books, or anything like that on how to quickly get ranked?
Outlining it the right way helps a lot, because you can write lots of words and it'll be a shitty book. You need to make sure you're doing the right things in your book, so it's going to be relevant for people. Actually, of course, on this stuff, if you ask, I'll give you a link. It has a lot of templates and tutorials and like how to write a good nonfiction book. So outlining is really important. Choosing the right topic to make sure it's going to sell and it's going to be position your brand the way you want to be seen. And then you really have to just break it down into chunks and write a little bit every day. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I guess my question is more about the outbound efforts. So let's say you have a great outline, you do keyword research, and then of course you have competitors, you're launching on page 2. How do you get from page 2 to page 1?
You can advertise on Amazon and outrank everybody. You can advertise on Facebook directly to Facebook. There probably aren't that many competitors. There are probably, like in any industry, there are probably 5 or 10 competitors, because most books suck and they don't sell. Most authors have a book and they don't sell. They don't promote. They don't know what to do with it. They just use it for like branding, but it doesn't sell at all. So if you're one of the top 10, Amazon's categories are in the top 20. So you just want to be in the top 20 of any category. You can actually email KDP and they can put you in 10 different categories. It's not that hard for nonfiction to be in the top 20, even without advertising. But with advertising, with some keyword research, yeah. And like most of my books, I do content marketing, so I have traffic, and I just make sure I feature my books on my website, and they always, they do okay with the topics. You can ask me more about that later. I'm not sure if I answered your question right.
I'll see you later.
Okay.
Are there any tools you use to test out different book titles?
You can. It's hard with Amazon Ads. You can change your title after you publish, but that's a little messy. I would just use, when you're thinking about writing your book, you get a Fiverr cover for like $25. That's good enough. For nonfiction, it's probably good enough. And you start with like the topic or the theme and a landing page, and then you could just run Facebook ads with different, sales copy, like different headlines, and just test out 10 different Facebook ads directly to the sales page. You could split test the sales pages, or you could just say which ads get the most clicks, and then like that's going to be my tagline, that's going to be my topic. I think Tim Ferriss used Google Ads a long time ago for the 4-hour work week. His first idea was like international drug smuggling for fun and profit or something, and he found that wasn't a great book title for his book.
Thanks, Derek. That was awesome. Just a quick announcement too. So Ronnie's going to come and speak, but after that.